Yes, it's What a Boast, a celebration of Reeves and Mortimer. Please welcome your hosts for this podcast, MJ Price and Paula Wiseman. Hello and welcome to Quad a Boast, a podcast dedicated to the work and genius of Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer. My name is Matt Price, founder of the Reeves and Mortimer Depository of Curious Stuff Facebook group.
And I am Paula Wiseman, founder and creator of the Divine Comedians podcast.
Our guest today is an actress, a presenter, a model, a cosmetics guru, and a bird watcher. Not only has she appeared in a number of projects alongside Jim and Bob, she's actually married to one of them. And in this interview, we intend to find out which one. Please enter the Novelty Island paddock, Nancy Sorrell Moir.
Yay!
Hello, Nancy.
Oh, that's very funny. I like it.
We'll get to the big questions.
Oh man, you've got to have your own proper intro.
I'm married too. I think you know.
Well, thanks for joining us, Nancy. It's really great to have you here.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be fun, isn't it? Wow.
We'll dig out some memories.
All the skeletons are going to come out now.
Don't know about that.
Yeah, can I just confirm for the listeners, if you've joined in hoping to find out about the home life of Jim and Nancy and what colour toothbrush Jim has, this isn't the right podcast for that sort of thing. We're here to
Although we do
talk about the... Do you? Oh, there we go. We're here to talk about the TV appearances and radio and podcast appearances that Nancy has made alongside Jim and Bob. Going back to your earlier years, Nancy, first of all, were you a fan of Vic and Bob back in the 90s?
Absolutely, yes. I was a huge fan of Shooting Stars. Used to watch it all the time with my mum and dad. Never missed it. Absolutely loved it and looked forward to watching it every week. Yeah. So, and also I think when they did Reeves and the thing is with Reeves and Mortimer is it was like a Friday night and this is mad. So I'd be getting ready to go out like when they were on. So I'd watch them and have to wait till it finished before I went off to a nightclub with my friends. So yeah. So that's the sort of time that you went out anyway. It was about 10ish. So yeah, I make sure that I would watch, and I absolutely loved it. It would put me in a fantastic mood, ready for the night.
Yeah.
one day I'm gonna marry that man.
But no, saying no, I never thought that at the time. I just thought how brilliant they both were, and just I loved them. But yeah, I mean in my job being a model, I used to work with a lot of actors, celebrities, and it just so happened that I did get to work with, I say, Jim and Bob. And when I remember when I got the call to say, can you do tomorrow morning, go to this location, and I was like, okay. I sort of hesitated because it come up quite quickly, but I just thought, oh my word, I'm going to be working with Jim and Bob. This is just amazing. And it really, really was. Yeah. I had, so just being a fan and then all of a sudden working with them and meeting them, they lived up to my expectations of being the loveliest people. So yeah, I had the best day ever. And in fact, I annoyed my mum and dad. They were like, will you just stop talking about? I was just talking about probably Jim a lot more.
Yeah.
Of course, Bob, but it was a case of, I just thought they were amazing. Yeah.
That was on I Love 1991, which was one of these nostalgia shows from the 90s, which they presented. A clip show.
I never forget that day. It was a very, very hot day. And there was one, they're just so funny. There was just one bit where they were throwing like ice cream at me and just throwing things at me. And I was like, whatever, this is fantastic. This is just the best job.
Yeah.
I couldn't wish for a better job. But I mean, when I did leave, I think I gave Jim, I said, look, I'd love to, work with you again. We had such a great time. And I think Jim took my model card. He went, yeah, I'll look after that. I'll and then I was like, okay. Jim and I got on so well. We really, really did. It's like we just instantly connected because I've got quite a crazy sense of humor, and to meet someone on my wavelength was just brilliant. I thought, I've actually met someone that's as crazy as me.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, so he took my model card, and then I sort of just carried on my life really, and then I got a phone call, I know all the dates, I know. September 2001.
Yeah.
I got a call to go and be on Shooting Stars to wheel out a wheelbarrow with a pigeon on it, and then the pigeon says, "My shoes hurt, my shoes hurt." Yeah, so so Jim and Bob. So yeah, Jim, I think he actually told me the other night he remembers doing it, or putting, visualizing the pigeon and with the boots. I mean, I think he's still drawing stuff like that now. Maybe boots on. But yeah, so it's amazing really, and that's where it all happened. That's where it all happened.
Yeah.
That's when Jim yeah, I think he asked me out, I think that night, and then he had to go. It was fine. He left me with the Hamiltons. We had a night, and she, yeah, I think it was great. She said, "I think he really likes you, He really does." I was going, and then he just vanished. But it was great. She's really lovely. I was having nice chats. And then, of course, I went home and told my mum and dad. I said, "I'm going to go out with," I think it took a while, they were like, "You're going out with who?" "With Vic Reeves." "What?" I said, "Yeah, this is it. This is going to be the best." And never look back really. So yeah. And then I think because I acted and stuff, so from doing that, going on Shooting Stars, I then did a few little other things. Jim, it's just what I've always done. So yeah, I mean, to go and then be in lots of other things with Jim and Bob was just fantastic. So over the moon.
Yeah. Have you done much acting work? I know you've done modelling previous to that. Have you done much acting work beforehand? Were you?
Yeah, I was in like The Bill, a little bit in that. Oh God, yeah, I did quite a few. What was that thing? Oh God, I've forgotten what it was called. It was so long ago. Was it like not Family Affair? It was something on Channel 5. I did like little bits like here and there, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I think when I met Jim and did that, and then he just said, "Well, why don't you do this little part in Catterick when I was the nurse, this bit in Monkey Trousers," and just little bits. But I absolutely loved it. I think I also was, when he played, that was funny. Well, it wasn't funny at all. I don't know why I'm saying that. He played Jack the Ripper. It's not funny. But when he played that, I think I was one of the prostitutes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
Well, I was in that. I think I was like, I remember saying it after they completely covered me in all the blood, and I was like, "Hey, I recognise you. Are you that Jack the Ripper geezer?" It was like one of those,
Yeah.
Like, hang on a minute, I know you. It was like the accent out. Do you know what I mean? So all right. Oh yeah, I just remember. Oh my God, we were in when we did Rogues Gallery. Oh, I'm coming typecast. Yeah, so I played all sorts in that. But I remember, yeah, all sorts. So I was, a lady. I was a lady. I could play a lady. I remember doing that. I did loads of little bits with Jim, and always try not to laugh. That's my problem. I'm just terrible for laughing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Versatile.
Yeah, just I try and think, right, I'm going to do this. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. And then I just stop laughing.
Now you're just laughing all the time.
Now it's constant laughter. How you should live. Just laugh.
When you're in Catterick and you're alongside Jim as Kinky John, I mean, what can you do but laugh?
Yeah, do you know what? When I was in Catterick, I remember I played the nurse, but Jim, obviously, we know Chris and Colbeck. Which one was Chris? He was Chris, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Early wig and the beard. I said, "Oh, go on, let me try it on." I've got a picture of me. I just look like Jim. It's real. I just look like Jim. I just completely, got the whole thing on, and I did the. I know. Just walking around, just doing impressions, and everyone was like, Oh my God. Well, you have to when you got all the props around you, you know, you got to go for it. I mean, and I could. I was married to Jim. I could try your
You
wig.
could do what you like. You could have been
Yeah.
his stunt double or something, you know.
Yeah. I love, do you remember Jim's walking that? It was brilliant, wasn't it? Oh, I know. People that listening know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
don't
yeah, they do. And Monkey Trousers, you're in a great scene with Leslie Ash
they?
in a
Yes.
pub, and Bob plays Jim's character of Monkey Trousers, plays his brother.
Oh, look at your, yeah, because she was going out with, the scene was she's going out with Monkey Trousers, and then I'm like, he's gorgeous, and he's like doing all these things, and then Bob, and then wait till you see your one, and in comes Bob. I don't know how I got through it. I don't think I did, to be honest. But then comes Bob. I'm like, thank you so much. You know, he's like, I mean, I think he was on his knees.
Yes, right.
Hello. Ding dong. That's the great thing with Jim and Bob. You just have the best time. It's just constant fun, really. You know, I've witnessed them both writing, you know, and both doing everything in this house, you know, which is great because you know, if I was going off to work or going to the gym, I would, as I'd walk, I can just hear them just laughing their heads off in the conservatory. And it would really make me laugh, you know, just hearing them doing all their, you know, you can hear the sketches coming out from the, it's brilliant, you know, when see that I've seen them do their magic, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the scene of Bob on the laptop, Jim pacing. Up and down. He's like that, thoughts coming out of the mind, you know, like boom, boom, constant thoughts, you know. And
they say with every comedy duo, there's always one who does the writing and the typing, and one who paces around or just lies on the floor, shouts ideas.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Jim, I don't, he doesn't really go on a lot. Yeah, he's more like the spoken.
One day.
That would be great, wouldn't it? One sort of final tour. I don't know, I'm saying all this stuff, but
they could not written in stone.
We're planting ideas.
Yeah, they would literally completely pack out Wembley Stadium. I've been to their tours, and I was saying, just like this sea of people. I took a photo, and it was just, I was taken back by how many people. It was literally like that, like a wave, you know, of people. It's just incredible. I was like, and I showed Jim the picture, and even he was like, whoa. You know, that is a lot of people, but it just shows, you know, the fan base that they have. And all, you know, I've been to a lot of I've been in the audience of a lot, and it's great to see all the fans when they say all the, you know, what's on the end of your stick and all the, I mean, I know a few of them. I don't know them all. I mean, they are like avid, incredible fans that know every single line, you know, line of
Guilty.
It's amazing because I know a few, but I mean, I think even maybe Jim's forgotten some of them, and then people which just say the audience know. And it's so great to be involved in an audience like that. Just
I think I met you very briefly after the Brighton Centre.
That was, I think,
I was back. The two girls were still quite young there.
Remember that? Wow.
Twins were there.
Oh my word, the girls were so little there.
Yeah, and they were very protective of Jim, you know.
Oh, they,
you know, the fact that I don't know, it must be so weird when your dad does that. I mean, it's just normal to you. Do you know what I mean? It's just dad is dad.
Yeah.
But then when you see them, you know, after live gigs and stuff, and there's all these fans wanting their photos taken with your dad, it must be so bizarre.
Very, very used to it now. I mean, they're 18 now. So
yeah. Doing their own things.
I believe they're 18. That's insane. Off to uni soon. That's me and Jim, literally.
Oh, empty nest.
And then on me and Jim together all the time, which we are anyway. It doesn't really change, to be honest.
Let's go back to your career with Jim. Let's go back to one of my favourite things you did, which was Vic Reeves' House Arrest on Radio 4. That's PC Mavis. Which you were absolutely. I remember meeting Jim at a book signing somewhere, and I said, "Make sure you tell Nancy how great she was in House Arrest." Because
Oh, that's so nice of you. Oh, I had the best time. I think I was talking like that then. All right, darling. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, there was so much going on in that Jim wrote. And yeah, was he in the bath?
that's
Wasn't
it.
he?
Yeah,
Oh my God, I remember that. And what was it? Can you remember? What can you remember? I can't remember.
I'm not going to do an impersonation, but it was sort of like the pub singer type. He was
That was
doing
it.
X Factor auditions or something, and you were helping him out. Yeah,
All right, darling. You're right. All right. Was he Mr. What was it? Was he Mr. Reeves in
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all right, Mr. Reeves. Yeah, I remember doing, yeah, because there was a lot of different sketches, wasn't there?
Mm.
Oh, I really enjoyed that. I
With
loved it. That was
Bob
on the,
and Noel Fielding were in that one as well.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, doing it as well. Yeah, it was fantastic. I love doing things like that. I love doing radio. It's great. It's really great. And
yeah.
here I am on your show.
Yes.
No,
But
I love
it was great because I'm sure, as people do, when they said, "Oh, a celeb's got his wife involved," I think, "Oh, here we go." But you just proved yourself on that, how superb you were as
it.
yourself, because you were just great in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I think, as I was saying before, it's not like I'm just Jim's wife. You know, I've been acting a long time. It's not like I'm,
Mm.
you know, you have to have, this sounds weird. I don't want to sound, but you have to have, you have to be able to act.
Oh
Jim
yeah,
said,
of course.
he always says, if you can act, you can act. If you can't, you can't. It's just literally, you can tell if you can act or not. And from coming from Jim, he said I could act. So that was nice. That's coming from, sounds weird to say it like that, but it's just, you know, I wouldn't do it if I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That rhymed.
No, but you'd think that he wouldn't have put you in as many things as he has if he didn't think you were up to the task.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I mean, that's true, you know. And if I didn't want to, you know, if I thought, oh, do you know what, Jim? I'm not very good, like, forget it. But I love doing it. I'm
Yeah,
like, bring
yeah.
it on. And if I
Yeah.
can work with my hubby as well, even better, you know, it's a no-brainer. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because working with your, you know, your hubby or your family or whatever, it's the best thing you can do.
Mm.
It's brilliant. You know, we don't argue. I know that sounds weird. We just have the best time, you know. And I think, well, you know, from now the bird show,
Yeah, yeah.
it's literally how you see it. That's me and Jim. There's no, we don't put anything. It's literally how you see it. There's no script. It's just me and Jim, and that's the best thing, because you see what we're like, you know. And a lot of the time I am laughing, that's true, because he he just, we're in the car going along, he's like, he just starts singing, and I don't even know what he's going to do, and then we start singing a song about a puffin, and it's just, we just make it up as we go. Best thing on the spot, make it up.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it comes across the stuff you put on social media, you and Jim dancing, what you did over
Yeah,
lockdown.
yeah.
There was a bit of a story behind that, because I was I was trying to get to 10,000 followers. That sounds weird, right? 10,000 followers on Insta. So I don't know what can I do. He went, I know. Why don't we go and dance in the forest? Okay,
As you do.
we did. Yeah, so we did, and it
Yeah.
worked. And but also doing it, I loved doing it, and then we carried on because we loved it. So Jim comes up with this great idea, and then we continue to do it for a while, and maybe easing off it a little bit. But now and then a dance will come out. If it's not that, did you see this? I don't know if you saw it, but on the Space Hopper,
Oh yeah.
I honestly, so Jim and I were talking the other day, and I was just saying, do you remember, you know, the space? I was just chatting. This was just before my birthday, my big one, the 21st, just gone, and we were talking about. I said, do you remember the space hoppers? How cool were they? I used to have one as a kid,
Yeah.
and then we were talking. And so we get home, and then a couple of days later, what arrives? He went, oh, you weren't. He said, that was for your birthday.
Oh.
Just the actual main gift. No. And I said, this is the best gift ever. So we just go, I'm easy to please. I love a space hopper. And that was it. And I said, why don't we take it, go and do some stuff, like just go off and can't go around with it. He went, even better, why don't we film it? And it would be hilarious. I mean, yes. Brilliant. I loved it.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, yeah, other stuff you've done, Ministry of Curious stuff as a canteen worker. Again, you were great in that. I think him and later on.
Jim worked hard on that. Good show. Really good show.
Yeah,
That
we spoke to Dan Skinner. He said that was a tough gig. That was a lot to squeeze in a small amount of time.
It was a tough show, but it was so good. And I remember we came like Mrs. So I was she was Mrs. Delope, and then people would say, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Dollop. Excuse me, Mrs. Delope. Get it right, please. Can you get it right? It's not Dollop. Rude."
And Vic and Bob's Big Night Out when they're your Penny Lancaster.
Penny Lancaster, yeah.
That is so funny.
Penny won't mind me doing that. That was
Give it-
hilarious.
It was an homage. It was an homage.
We were trying to. Jim got out of that. I thought he was going to die when he got out of that costume. It was a very unusual, very small, very tight squeezed. They looked like mini Humpty Dumptys, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
And like they just said, "Come in and just like feed us." I went, "All right."
Okay.
Lemonade, I think it was. Yeah. Tross full of lemonade.
Because when I go into the makeup room, is always like the best room because you see all very neatly laid out, all the different wigs, just hilarious. And then I looked to my right and went, "What the heck is that?" And it was those weird potato Humpty Dumpty suits, and I was just like, and Jim went, "Oh yeah, you're feeding us when we're wearing those." But what I love is seeing those wigs just placed. It's like I took a picture because it's like an art form, the wigs, which are so funny. And actually our daughter Lizzie now has a huge collection of wigs, which we put on the other night, which was fun. But yeah, that was really funny. And I remember, feeding him, "All right, love." She doesn't even talk like that. I don't know what I was doing. "There you go. Have some food. There you go." And I just remember Jim getting out at the end like that, like, "Jim, are you all right?" He was going, "No, I'm not." Bob the same. It was just
They've only themselves to blame.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but it was very funny. Oh, I loved it when I saw it. It just looks bizarre, doesn't it? It's so funny. And Rod Stewart over there in the car.
Yes, right. Don't know who that was.
Just laughing. I love it. It's so funny. So funny.
The other podcast you did was Curl Up and DI with Jim, which was Tony Pitt's podcast.
How good
Love that. And I heard you when you talked to our lovely friend Mark Benton. He's so lovely, Benno. Yeah, it was brilliant. I don't know if hopefully everyone's seen it because you don't want to sort of give away the ending. But yeah, I played she was like I could do my northern accent, But yeah, oh God, who was she? She was
Justine.
Justine, yeah.
She worked for the coppers and she helped out sort of thing, but she was also in love with Bello's character, She's like, "I love you. I really love you." You can hear the accents come. I love doing my accents. And I loved it. Tony Pitts did that. It was so fun. Everybody in a room, Morgana, Byrne.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. It was
Catherine Kelly. Yeah, great cast.
Kelly, everyone was so lovely. We just had
fun. Absolutely. I loved Byrne's character.
He's brilliant, isn't he? Byrne?
So unhinged.
I know. I mean, whoa, you're a bit like, "Whoa," And there was this bit where I had to go like, "Silence!" Like do this big sort of. I felt, oh, that was good, stopping everyone from talking here. This is like, I've got authority as my character. This is great. It was really good. I loved doing it. Everyone was brilliant. And I think it's a great listen if people want to listen to it. Yeah. Yeah. And Bill, like loads of people in that. Benno's lovely. We've known him. I've known him since I've known Jim. So
yeah.
Family. Yeah.
So Painting Birds, massive hit. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's just grown and grown, hasn't it, in popularity? People kind of started watching it and then it's just taken off a kind of a whole life of its own, really.
Love it so much. It's just the best thing to do. We're going bird watching later, actually, and I like to, people say you can't wear colours. birds are cool with me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they know me now. Here she comes. She's got a bright dress on. Let's flock towards her.
She's
Yeah.
one of ours. She's one of ours.
She's one about, come on, you know, when you see a hoopoe and all these beautiful birds, they're all colourful, all their plumage comes out, and that's like me. I know, my favourite bird is a curlew, but it's weird because doing the show, you think, oh, I love the curlew, but then, of course, you see all these other amazing birds that you then, hang on a minute, is that my number one? Or, you know, the curlew's still there because I've got like a top 5. It's like a top 5 of birds, and it does change, but the curlew does remain as number 1. But going around with Jim, I mean, Jim, when I met him, the first thing that we went and did was bird watching.
Oh.
And it was, yeah, and I loved it. So I never did it before. Obviously, I knew the birds in my garden, but I didn't do it before. And now I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's the best show to do. And also when the people, you know, we go walking, and a lot of people say they never bird watched or did what we did. They said we are literally doing what you did. And we
Started a trend.
come to Elmley.
Wow.
And we bump into people and say it's because of your show. And I'm just like, oh my word, that makes me feel good.
Well, I think you represent us, the viewer, in it, because obviously Jim's an expert in birds and art, and you have experts you meet on the show, and you're asking the questions that we would ask that Jim might not ask because he knows the answers anyway. But so you're coming in as the everyman character who's asking the questions.
Yeah, because you're having you're having someone that doesn't know a lot. And yeah, I have a lot of questions, but even Jim says, being the great bird watcher that he is, he still has questions, like we all do. You know, I want to know all different things about birds. And then you meet bird experts, and they will, you know, they'll give you some info, and you're like, really? It's like it's great to learn and to really, you know, just find out about it. It's incredible. And also on the second series, I got to we did the ringing of the kingfisher, and then I put it in my hand, and I just went, getting all emotional, you know.
They're amazing birds to see, a kingfisher. Me and my youngest saw one in the wild last year. They're quite a sight. They're
beautiful. It's the colours that get you. And what's really nice from doing the show, they keep in contact. And with the kingfisher that I did actually set off at when, the lovely man there, he emails me and tells me that now she has had babies, babies, and there's more babies. And I'm like, I love this. And this was at Walthamstow Wetlands where we did that. And I didn't even know about, this is what's great, is you go to places you don't know, and then we'll definitely go back. So you go to these places in London that I never even knew about. So it's fantastic. And then finding out about the birds that they're just doing so well, and you know, it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, there's a nice one in Arundel. I don't know if you've been to the one in Arundel, the Wildfowl Trust in Arundel. That's one for your list down near me in Sussex.
Trying to do a broad next, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it made me download the app to pick up the bird noises and identify them. I've got
finding out which bird it is.
Oh,
And I've run in the house. We got a chaff. And everyone else just looks at me indifference. I was excited.
Right, no, I'm pleased you're doing that. And we've got that as well. There's a certain noise, you don't know what it is, and then you go, oh my word, there's like, you know, a great spot, a woodpecker, or you know. So it's brilliant. And then I wouldn't have done this a long time ago. The other day a woodpecker was in our garden, and it was just, no one was in the house, and I just filmed this woodpecker. I would never have done that. I would never have done that 30 years ago. I was fascinated. I just stood there until it eventually flew off, which was quite a while later. But that's what I do now.
Yeah.
It's weird though, isn't it? How bird watching always had this kind of, you know, people were like, oh, you know, only kind of certain kinds of people do bird watching. It's kind of these anoract nerds and things.
True.
But it's not true. Obviously, you've built a whole new audience to bird watching. It's incredible.
I love that. I swear, I definitely I've seen some lovely ladies wearing their nice dresses, bird watching. You see, it's catching on.
Started a trend.
Well, if you'd have said to me back in the 90s when I was watching Vic and Bob that one day I'll be watching one of them doing a fishing show and one of them doing a bird watching show.
Yeah.
Which are the sort of programs that when you were that age, you just leave that, turn that off. But now,
Yeah, it's probably the right thing though, right? You know, you get to a certain age. Obviously, I'm not Jim's age, just saying. But you do, and then you're like, you know, things change, but it's all good. It's nothing. You know, Bob's, you know, having a fantastic time doing his show with Paul. He's got his book, you know, and he's got his book coming out, Bob, and also Jim has got his bird book coming out in October.
Fantastic.
Did you like that? My little clap.
Flourish.
I should really do a book. I'd like to do a book one day. I think, you know, why not?
Yeah.
But my drawings aren't as good as Jim. They might think, did a child do this? Although Jim has taught me, honestly, I used to draw birds. They were so awful that I'd like cry at them and laugh at them at the same time. I think, my God, I can't draw. And then Jim would say, look, let me teach you. I mean, for Jim to teach me, I go, I am so bad. Like, I used to be absolutely dreadful. And then it would, I don't even know what, it wouldn't look like a bird, you know. And then Jim would say, look, you know, he said, there's a way you start, there's a way you, do you know what I mean? Jim, and to be taught by Jim is the best teacher. So I'm lucky in that way. But oh my word, my bird, they are awful. They were awful. Jim would always say, because I'll do something, he'd say, you keep putting yourself down. I'm like, well, it is awful.
That's it. Nancy's Book of Birds is the next.
I think people might, you know,
I think you should definitely go for it.
You'd be like, she got some children in.
Or children's book with your birds in.
There you go. Exactly. It's going to happen. Watch out, people.
I know. Get it in the Christmas market. But we absolutely loved the episode that Bob came in on the painting birds, the Christmas special. Oh man, that must have been such incredible.
And he looks so good. He looks so well. It's lovely to see him. He's so lovely. And and I think Jim and Bob, their connection with each other is it's fantastic. And they, you know, you might not see each other every day. Do you know what I mean? But then when you do, it's like it's boom. It's that great connection of the best friendship. It's brilliant. Oh, they're lovely, aren't they?
Oh, it's like a permanent connection. Do you know what I mean? It's like a.
Oh, they're just they're so good together, and seeing them as well, and you know, like I know Jim makes Bob laugh, Bob makes Jim laugh, and together they're brilliant. Yeah, we need more of that, don't we?
We do, definitely.
But the tabloid press, they would love Vic and Bob to fall out. They'd love that storyline to be their headline. But when you show something like that Christmas special and they're still close and they still make each other laugh, it's just great.
They make more of it, don't they? It's just a load of rubbish. Yeah, they're good. They're good.
So there's more random stuff like last meals. you know.
Oh my word, yeah, but that was so good, wasn't it? It was so funny. It was brilliant. I'm so pleased. Yeah, that was brilliant.
So is there more painting birds coming up?
Well, yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. Yeah, I've got it all crossed, and let's do just waiting. I think now everyone's away, right? And then people come back, so we're just waiting on things.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure something will definitely happen because it's become really popular. And I think the second series, you know, when you do a second series, it could be even more better than the first.
Yeah.
And more people then watch it. So yeah, I absolutely love doing it. So
yeah, I suppose there's always that little bit of extra pressure, isn't there, on a second anything. You know, you've kind of got to live up to the first one.
Yeah,
and add a bit.
And we went to some amazing places.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I feel so lucky, you know, even like how beautiful Ireland is, and wow, and we went to Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, the most stunning places, and also the crew are amazing. They find great locations. We were on this fantastic big gorgeous beach. There was no one on it. I was like, how can there be no one on this? This beach is stunning. That's when, I don't know if you saw it, that's when we did like the sand art, and we were helping. Yeah, that was amazing. That was so and it honestly, to do things like that, it makes you feel good, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Doing anything like that is.
But you just look like you're having the best time. Do you know what I mean? It's like seeing behind a curtain that your relationship is so incredible.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Well, we do have the best time, and every day we're doing something together. Just getting prepared for when we are literally on our own.
Yeah.
With your literal empty nest.
I'll be like crying away, and then let's go bird watching. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That will help.
So have you got any other projects in the irons in the fire at the moment?
Well, I've always, you know, I was saying about I've got my own makeup range, so that's always, you know, there, and you know, Jane is here with us. But yeah, I've got I love doing that. I love the side of fashion, makeup. Where Jim's an artist, I'm a makeup artist, so that's the sort of Jim did do my makeup once. It wasn't great, but it was fun.
Now there's a surprise.
Yeah, so I love doing that. The Nancy Sorrell collection, it's just, I love it, you know, and for us to come up with this brilliant, you know, brand, the Fabulous Me Company, and have the lip gloss, the mascara, I've got it all going on. I was gonna hang on, let's see.
Didn't Jim design the artwork for the owl?
Actually, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
so I came up, I thought, because of the show, and I love owls, so I thought have an owl palette with all the different names of the owls inside. And then Jim, I said, could I use one of the tawny owl on the front? He said, yeah. And it's such a great idea.
Yeah.
This was my idea as well.
That could have gone so badly if you'd said no. That's fine.
I mean, it could have been my kid drawing.
Yeah.
Which good.
That could have been even better.
Actually, you know what? You're making me think I might do, like, just eyes. Big eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. I love doing that, and that keeps us busy, and there's always lots of stuff happening. But but when I'm not doing anything, I'm bird watching, and that to me is the best thing. So yeah.
I think that's the way it generally works, isn't it? You've each got your own things going on, and you come together to do the bird watching and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, I love it, and of course, yeah, Jim's book. So what's great, actually, Jim's book is great because you can take it out bird watching, boom, and go through, you know, that's great. Okay, you might.
You should definitely look at the kids book idea with your birds in.
I'm gonna have a think about that.
I think you should
think about that.
Does he do a lot of bird noises? Does he got quite a good back catalogue?
No, he doesn't. That's mainly me. I like to.
That's your job.
Because you know, you think the peregrine, which you would think would be like, but it's just like little sounds. Yeah. Yeah, I like doing all my little sounds.
I'll get my bird app out and see if you do a tune. I'll see if it picks them up.
It could be an audio book version.
But it's like you hear certain ones. Is it a reed warbler that just sound like they sound like a sort of fax machine? I think that's the one. Where I'm just trying. I hope I'm right. I'm probably wrong with the wrong bird, but it does sound like a fax machine. I remember when I first heard it, I said, "What the?" And we're standing by it, and it is just unbelievable because the summer is the best time for birds because they're going for it.
Yeah.
There could be like an audio book to go with Jim's book, and you do the bird noises. It's like a listen along with the book.
Click on the QR code to hear the bird noise.
Exactly.
Click on this button and you just do all these different things. But when we've done stuff with the audiences, I just come into that, and people seem to really like it. So I'll continue I just sit there making noises.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks so much. It's been so lovely to chat today.
It's been great to have you here today, Nancy. It really was quite a boast.
I hope I've got it all in there.
I think we covered everything.
No, thanks so much for chatting. It's been incredible.
Oh, it's been so lovely. Thank you for having me. I've just had the best time.
Thank you all for listening to this edition of Quite a Boast. Special thanks to Matt Lucas for permission to use the Peanuts music as our theme tune, and thanks to Ed Lewis for this edit. Thank you to Jake Chesham for permission to use the photo from his 1995 shoot of Jim and Bob in our various online locations for the podcast. And of course, thank you very much to Jim Moir and Bob Mortimer, without whom this podcast, well, it just wouldn't exist, would it? Remember to check out Paula's Divine Comedians podcast as well, and to join the Reeves Mortimer Depository of Curious Stuff Facebook group. And I think you'll agree that really was a lot of fun. Goodbye.